Here once again with Tanya and Seth at Metal Art Comic Con 2025. How's it feel to be back, you guys?
It's awesome to be back. We've been welcomed by the community, new people, old friends. We're enjoying it.
How about you, Seth? How's it feel to be back again?
Oh, it feels wonderful. I mean, I love seeing familiar faces, recognizing neighbors that we are now seeing in a different location and catching up on how things have been throughout the year, and then also getting to see new faces as well.
So a quick recap, because I know we talked about it last year at Metal Arc. Want to give a quick recap on what you both do?
Well, I am an co-editor for Comics Lit.
And how about you, Seth? Quick recap on what is it that you do?
Sure. I'm a fiction writer as well as a comic book writer and an essay writer. Yes, so I do kids comics for Hapsy as well as adult comics, some that you can find in things like, say, Anachronistic, and then you can also find essays that I've done in things like Comics Lit. Yes, I'm also fiction and short story writer, Language of Fists.
Oh, nice.
If you enjoy the idea of what it's like for a fighter in the 24 hours leading up to and a few hours after a fight, that's an experience that's captured in a short story that shows you the viewpoint of that fighter's experience.
So real quick, back to you, Tanya. What kind of advice would you want to give to someone who may want to get into this, writing, stuff like that?
Writer you want to be, like what genre you want to write in, and then find a writing group, find people who write similar things so that you can get advice from people who have done it ahead of you. You don't have to listen to all of that advice, but it's good to have people who have been in the trenches and can guide you so that you don't get scammed or waste your time in areas that aren't going to serve you.
That's honestly real good sound advice. And then same question for you, Seth. What kind of advice would you want to give to those who may want to get into this line of work?
I recommend starting out with the things that they feel the most passionate about. Don't run from the things that they love reading. In fact, write to that spirit, write to that energy, and feel confident writing small as possible, as lightly as possible. Oh, and it's okay. One of the great things about talking with Tanya and myself is we also offer mentoring and tutoring options. So if someone wants to stop by, they can get a copy from us. They can sign up for our newsletters, and we're happy to offer the support that we can as professionals, and also invite them to join a community of writers, because that community is going to make the biggest difference. They can provide the support, the understanding, and also experience to answer questions that every new writer faces and every writer experiences at some point in their journey.
And then last but not least, where can people find you on social media, stay up with all the stuff you guys do?
You can go to my website, mstanyatodd.com, and follow my newsletter. You can sign up right there at the website, and that will show you all of the places and all of the things I'm involved with.
And same for you, Seth. Where can people find you on social media?
Storieswithseth.com is my website. Seth the Writer is going to be me on Instagram, and those are probably the two best directions to go to. However, you can also go to hapsy.com and find all of the Greedy Greg stories, as well as all of my friends and kids comics.
Well, thank you both again. I hope to see you guys again soon. By the way, I love the nails. They're very blue and shiny. Thank you both, and I hope you both enjoyed day two. I'm here with Floydman.
Sumner, S-U-M-N-E-R.
At Metal Art Comic Con 2025. How's it feel to be back, Floyd?
Oh, I love coming to Southern Oregon. It's like one of my favorite places to be, especially this show is a lot of fun, and the people are great, and the cosplay is awesome, and yeah, it's just always good to be back here. So, yeah.
So, for those at home who may have not seen the past few ones I've interviewed you in, what is it that you do, and how long have you been doing it for?
What I do is I am a sketch artist with Tops, and Tops is the former chewing gum company. They just recently got bought out by Fanatics, but they're still known as Tops. And they do Garbage Pail Kids. And if you aren't familiar with Garbage Pail Kids is a series of trading cards that was released in 1983. And parents and teachers hated them. Kids loved them because they're gross, they're stinky, they're fun, and the movie was even worse than the cards. But yeah. And so they are still producing them, and so what I do is I do sketch cards, which is I draw on cards, blank cards that Topps puts in packs. So if you go to like Target or Walmart and pick up a pack, you might open it up and you might get an original piece of art from me or another artist. But yeah, so and that's primarily what I do. But I also work doing commissions. I have been featured in Cartoons magazine, and I will have another story coming up soon once I finish it. Also, Freaky magazine is a new thing for me that I started doing, and my own comics, which I've only got number one out, but it's a fun comic. It's like a throwback to the old underground, kind of dirty looking book that looks like a comic book, because comic books need to look like comic books, need to feel like comic books, and need to be read like comic books. So.
And one more thing, for someone who may want to get into writing, drawing, or drawing for comics, what kind of advice would you like to give to those?
Become a plumber like Dave. That's not mine. Just keep doing it. Just keep following your dream. Keep chasing your dream, because eventually you will catch it. You may not catch it to the greatness that you expect, but the more you persist, the more success you will have in doing it. And so just be you. Just draw what you enjoy drawing. Don't fall into the trap of, oh, I got to draw this because it's trendy or it's popular. Do what you feel you have to do. That's what I do, because this is my passion, and I don't follow trends necessarily. I do what I need. What I need to do, basically. That's what I'm here for. So.
That's some really sound advice. Again, Floyd, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the con.
Thank you, Wayne. It's always good to see you.
Oh, where can people find you on social media to stay up to date with your art and everything?
People can find me on Facebook under Floyd Man Sumner. They can find me on Instagram under The Real Floyd Man. I don't know about this TikTok thing or the Snips chat, but so I'm not on those. But yeah, mainly Instagram and Facebook, and then you can also find my website. Well, I go with my store, on my online store, more than my regular website. So my store website would be planetf.storeenvy.com. And yeah, and Store Envy is all one word. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lloyd. How does it feel to be back again for Metal Arc Comic Con?
It feels great. It's the second year in a row, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So I'm very excited to be here again.
So for those at home who may not be familiar with what you do, how long have you been doing this for, and what made you want to get into art?
Well, I've been doing for 20 years, and it's the love for the comics that got me into this. Seeing those pages and that art that told myself that I should be doing that, and try at least to do that. And thank God I'm lucky enough to be able to do it.
What's been some of your favorite things that some of your favorite arts that you've been doing for the long time?
Well, the most people get me to do superhero stuff, and I love superhero. But my second best choice is space opera. So I'm into everything that has to do with space. So I love to draw space.
So for someone who may want to get into art and everything and drawing, what kind of advice would you like to give them?
Honestly, to practice, to draw every day. I mean, learn from your mistakes. You will still gonna be making a lot of mistakes, but you also will learn to live with those and to make a mistake a happy mistake.
One last thing. Where can people find you on social media if they want to stay up to date with your art or potentially see you at another convention?
Well, definitely on my Facebook, Luis Rivera. And through there you can get to my Instagram, which is a little complicated to spell, but definitely Facebook.
Well, again, Luis, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed both days of the con.
Oh, I do. Thanks to you again, and nice to see you again.
We're ready. So I'm here once again with Dave Warren. This time, and the family over here. At Metal Arc Comic Con. This is your second time back, but this is also, I know this is not your first time being with the con where they run everywhere else.
Yes. Hey, I'm happy to be back here in Medford. This is a great audience, great group of people. Thank you, Medford. We love you. Love this family right here. Um, we love you. We're having a great time, as you can see. So yeah, I'm happy to be back, man.
So, for a quick recap, when we talked about it last year at Middle Arc, mind telling those at home what you do and how long you've been doing it for?
So longer than you've been born. I started in the 90s working on a show called Spicy City for around 5 years, and that was short-lived for about 3 months, and then when that show got canceled, I ended up by fate at Warner Brothers with Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs.
And then you would later go under The Simpsons and a bunch of other stuff as well over there.
Yep. So I went from Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain to Dilbert. I worked on Dilbert for about 2 seasons, and Dilbert got canceled. And I decided I wasn't going to work in animation anymore. I went to Cordon Bleu and was going to become a chef and open up a restaurant. And a friend of mine was on The Simpsons and said, "Hey, man, they're looking for people. Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, how soon do I have to drop out of school?" So I took the test, and luckily, a few people there liked me, and I was able to get onto the crew, and that just changed everything. It was like I was in animation, and like there was this level where Pinky and the Brain and Warner Brothers was like amazing, and still is. And then The Simpsons came along, and that was primetime animation and a universe that was like everybody knew. It wasn't just Saturday morning cartoons or afternoon cartoons. It was like a phenomenon. So The Simpsons was and still is everything I owe everything to. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them.
I mean, you do a really good job. Another question, because I know we briefly talked about it at Con last year and in your interview. What kind of advice would you want to give to someone who may want to get into this line of work, or if they're just starting out, or they want to like further progress with this type of work?
I would say pugs, not drugs. Those of you who are not that. Yeah, there's a man walking by with a pugs, not drugs shirt on. So now you're on TV. My advice: you become a plumber. Yeah. Floyd stole my joke. I told him that this morning. Floyd he should give credit to me because I told him that at breakfast this morning. So what I would say, 10,000 hours. Practice. Believe in yourself. Don't give up. Network. This business is a lot about who you know, and the friendships you make and the connections you make.
One more thing. Where can people find you on social media if they want to stay up to date with your art, the convention, stuff like that?
So if you want to find me on social media, it's larto.co. That's my website, and all my socials you can find on there, my Patreon, all of that. I just launched a Patreon. It's called Dave and Zeke's Incredible Cartoon Crew. So please find me on Patreon and support us. Keep us in coffee and pup cups. We would love that. And what else? On Instagram, it's I am Dave Warren, IAM, spelled out. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, I am El Arto. And you can find me at a con near you, man.
If you want to know more about Dave, I highly recommend also checking my interview with him on my channel. It goes full on more from beginning to end on the stuff that Dave has done over the years outside of animation and inside of animation. Thank you again, Dave.
Thank you. Hey, we give you the horn. There we go.
How have we been enjoying day 2 at Melbourne Comic Con 2025?
Day 2's just started. I'm already having a great time. Day 1 was wonderful. I love getting to meet the fans. And the thing that I love most is just when I get to chat with them and they tell me what the game that I've been in or my characters mean to them. And it's heartwarming. I was just speaking with somebody who came off of an 18-hour shift and was telling me about how much Final Fantasy means to them and how it's helped her get through some rough times, and it's very heartwarming. So
18 hours, that's a long time.
yeah, it is.
So for those who may not be familiar with you, what have you been in and how long, what made you want to get in?
I've been an on-camera actor for 27 years. But voiceover for me really first kicked in during the pandemic. Because I've got young kids, and I was just like, okay, I cannot take a chance on this virus that is killing everybody and stuff.
You'd rather be safe than.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I gotta live a long time for my family, you know. And my wife, who is much smarter than me, just said, look, you have to work. You need to go buy a voiceover booth, and you need to get into voiceover. No, they're not. They're not.
I've seen quite a few actors who have them. And I was like, I would love that, but I don't know where I would put that at.
Yeah, they're big, they're heavy, but they're wonderful, especially during a pandemic when everybody can't leave their house. So.
And I heard that they're really good quality. I've seen how big they can get.
Yeah. And you're just basically in your own little cocoon when you're inside that.
So for those who may not be, who have you voiced over the past few years?
Some of my most well-known characters are Kenshi from Mortal Kombat. Right over here, we've got Kenshi right here from Mortal Kombat.
And Goro.
Goro from Mortal Kombat as well as Song from Final Fantasy. These are probably three of my most popular characters, so I love talking to people about it. And yeah, the fans seem to really like these prints.
They definitely all have. I didn't know that was you as Goro, because Goro is, and then you got, back in the 90s, Kevin Michael Richardson, who originally voiced Goro. And Goro doesn't really get like a lot of on-screen time, so I think anyone who voices him, I can't. Someone who has like a big, massive, burly voice.
Goro is a throat ripper. That's just how I describe him. He's a throat ripper. I talk like this, and I kind of loosen my jowls a lot, so it's a little less articulate. But I have to confess that they also use their technical wizardry. So they put it through a filter to bring his timbre down even lower and stuff. And one of the great things is that they actually filter it directly into my headphones as I'm speaking. So as I'm speaking, I hear the Goro voice in my ear, and I'm like, and it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I am the greatest voiceover actor in the entire history of the world, because look what it sounds like. So, but yeah, it's there's some computer wizardry as well.
I imagine. So for someone who may want to get into acting, voice acting, stuff like that, what kind of advice, personally, would you like to give?
Personally, do not spend a lot of money at the beginning, okay? You do not need a very expensive voiceover booth. You do not need an expensive microphone. A $1,000 microphone does not make you a voiceover actor. What makes you a voiceover actor is practice, playing. Okay, don't take yourself too seriously right now, and give yourself time to suck. Give yourself the allowance to suck, because we all suck, and I do this for a living, and I still suck a lot of times, and that's okay, because you just make mistakes, you learn, and you get better, and that's the name of the game. So don't worry about spending a lot of money right now. Just play. Think about the voices that you enjoy hearing most, the games that you like playing most, and imitate them. We all copy people. The internet has taught us that nothing is original. Okay, so yeah, so copy what you like, play with it, and then eventually you can start putting your own spin on things. Take classes, and in this world of the internet, like now you can take classes from anybody in the world. Even if you're in this remote island someplace, you can take a Zoom class with somebody, with a seasoned professional. Take those classes, learn, and then as you go along, then you can start branching into finding an agent, finding a nice microphone and stuff like that. But for starting out, play.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, nowadays, like on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, there are a bunch of people who are like making these fan-made projects that are looking for. I've seen some people get to the point where the pay is like, no, it doesn't mean that they're able to pay. It's just for starting out. They want to see if there's something they like doing, and then I've been part of some projects that someone posted on Twitter. Hey, I'm looking for a voiceover for like a couple lines. I can say from experience, it's really fun, but also you don't know there are like hundreds of other people who are wanting to apply for that.
I mean, work is work, and it doesn't make it any less legitimate if you're not paid for it. You know, it's still legitimate work. It's still things that you can practice and learn from. So yeah, by all means, go ahead and do that non-paying work, as long as it's fun to work with and you're working with good people.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, it's going good. So Tom, how are we enjoying day 2 for Metal Art Comic Con? I saw that your booth was very, very packed and busy yesterday.
Yes, it started off really good, and I hope today should be even better. So let's see how it goes.
So, for those who may not know you or what you've done, mind telling the folks at home who you voice and what you've been doing for how long you've been doing this for?
I do the voice of Mickey Mouse, and I've been doing his voice for 30 years. No. I did the voice of the front man on Squid Game, and also Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang, and amongst many other things.
Nice.
hmm
So, how long have you been acting for? Because I know not only have you acted on screen, you've also been doing a bunch of voiceover stuff too.
You know, I've been doing on-screen acting and voiceover acting for over like almost 30 years now. Crazy, right?
It's a long time.
Yes.
So, what made you want to get into this? What made you want to get into this line of work and everything?
It's kind of almost always what I wanted to do. I grew up in Iowa, and you know, just to kind of want to be able to like stand out and express myself, and you know, there's a lot of you know, I was different, right? Because I was Asian amongst a sea of white faces, so it was my way of kind of expressing and kind of taking ownership of my differences. So, yeah.
So, for those who may want to get into this line of work, whether it's acting on film, TV, or voice acting, what kind of like advice would you want to give to someone?
It's a very hard profession. I would say you have to be dedicated but realistic about your expectations. You have to enjoy the process. The job itself is the reward for you know, your training and your practice and everything. So if you don't enjoy that aspect, then you're really not going to enjoy when you actually book something, if you even do, because you have to be dedicated to that. And just have realistic expectations. Even the biggest stars end up like not working for a long time and things. So it's a marathon. That would be the biggest thing I would say. Yeah, I'm going to continue doing this. So if you're interested in the frontman mask, I do autographs on it. So there you go.
I mean, you from Liu Kang to frontman, you've definitely done it all from what it seems like, and also Fallout as well.
Yes, Fallout 76, The Night Shin. You know, obviously we audition, we try to get as much as we can. Sometimes you get lucky with certain properties, like I did. Nobody knew at the time that the Frontman and Squid Game would be so popular. I mean, Mortal Kombat was out there when I got it, so I was very, very excited about doing that. So, yeah.
Well, again, Tom, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much. But how have you been enjoying Metal Art Comic Con?
It's great. Fans come in costumes and that they've built, you know, or characters that they love to play, and I always love seeing that.
I mean, when you started out, you were. What was that like going from being a cosplayer to probably the most iconic droid in the past 50 years?
What was that like? Well, unexpected, but it was something, you know, I always dreamed about, but never thought that would ever happen, or couldn't figure out how I would have even orchestrated that. So I was just doing what I like to do, which was playing characters and improving and entertaining people. And Lucasfilm saw that, and they asked me to come in for an audition.
And was that originally for C-3PO, or was it just for one of the other droids?
No, it was for C-3PO. Yeah, so they bolted me all together and turned on the sound system and turned on the lights, and I said, "Oh my goodness! Why, hello! I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations. I am fluent in over 6 million forms." And they're like, "That's enough."
So imagine while you were wearing the suit, Anthony was doing the voice and everything.
Anthony Daniels, the original actor, he does the films, and then I do what he is not available for, so that we collaborate in that way. And sometimes he's doing the voice, and I'm in the suit. Sometimes I'm in the suit and doing the voice.
Oh, you do the voice.
Yeah. So like, yes.
That's impressive. I imagine it wasn't easy trying to match and mimic his voice, because I know he has a very distinct voice and everything.
Right. You know, it's funny. I asked when I was studying up for this role, what accent, what area of England is this accent? And they said, no, no, no. You know, like in America when they have rock DJs, you know, Quad 106.5, like how they used to do, and nobody really talks like that. And they said nobody actually talks like C-3PO does. That's an affected accent. So that was fun to learn. Yeah.
Now, what kind of advice would you want to give to someone who may want to be a suit performer? Because things such as, you know, C-3PO.
Well, I would recommend taking an acting class because there's something about, you know, if you know how to perform and create a scene and tell a story in a realistic way, that it doesn't matter what you're wearing. Now, if you're wondering about like how to train yourself to wear a suit, yeah, just go to Comic-Cons and wear costumes. I mean, that's a great training ground.
That's really sound about it. So out of all the suits you've worn a couple of years, what would you say consuming to get in and probably have the most constraint?
I would say any of the droids. They're all based on the same platform of C-3PO. So, you know, it's a very snug fitting. It's like wearing a very tight car fender, you know. So but the other thing is they're also well constructed. I build all the suits that I wear on the show, and I. Yeah.
I can imagine. I imagine you had like the original like concept book on how it was back in the day.
Well, I did a lot of study. I did 3 years of study to try and find out how to build the suit, and then worked with. I had a couple of friends at Lucasfilm who was very generous to help me with some of the behind-the-scenes information, and that's the one that we use on TV.
And I know from like in the original '77 film, you know, C-3PO, he was like more like the gold was like dense, and then when we see like in Episode 3, it's
every scene. Oh, you're talking about the finish of his, yeah. So every scene and every location determines what he, you know, what his appearance is. If he's crash landed on a desert planet and they're wandering around, you know, getting, you know, his joints are almost frozen from so much dust contamination, he will look very, you know, all messed up. If he's rolling around with the Ewoks on the forest floor of Endor, he's going to look more matte color. And then when he's shined up for the award ceremony, he'll be all nice and formal and shining. And this is how he looks when he goes to things like the Oscars.
And the eyes, I know the eyes light up. Do you see the eyes, light of eyes, or what's the vision? Because I imagine someone wearing something like that, the vision cannot be easy.
No, it's not. It's just looking through the little black holes there. But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like looking. If you're wearing a salad bowl and you're looking through straws, that's what it's like.
I think that's
yeah, yeah.
Well, Chris, I hope you enjoyed. Back home.
Thank you so much. Yes, and may the force be with you.
Okay, here we are. What's your name?
I'm Wayne. When you know.
Hello, Wayne.
How you doing, Barry?
I'm good. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
All right, what's your first question?
So, you know, as I always ask, what made you want to get into voice acting?
What made me want to get into voice acting? Well, I grew up on cartoons, Batman the Animated Series, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and all of those great classics. And so, of course, I wanted to be part of that fun. And when the opportunity arose, I chased after it. Next question.
What kind of impact has this had on you doing the voice acting and just getting to do what you do?
I love it. I get to meet amazing people and work with, you know, very talented people and collaborate and do comedy and drama and music and everything. It's just every day I get to wake up and be creative. So what's wrong? Nothing wrong with that, right?
No, there is nothing wrong with that. So
that's what I thought.
So
you get one question more.
One last. Okay, it makes sense. So, what kind of advice would you want to give to someone who may want to get into voice acting, but they may not know much about it?
Well, take a lot of classes. Study the greats. You can't be great unless you study greatness. And there's a wonderful website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com that the amazing D. Bradley Baker created. to answer all of your voice acting questions. Also, embrace your unique voice. Don't try to sound like someone else, because there's only one of you. Wise words and inspiration from Barrett Letty today at Anna Medford.
Thank you so much.